This is one of the newest neighborhoods in the Columbus, Ohio suburbs. If you like the idea of having the peace and quiet of living in a small town while still being only 15 minutes away from one of the top Columbus, Ohio shopping malls and getting great neighborhood amenities, this could be the perfect community for you. So here is our first model home for today's video. I've been looking forward to bringing you out to this community for quite some time now. So I am really excited to get to show you these two model homes as well as a move-in ready home for sale. So I had delayed my visit so that I could show you one of their quick move-in homes. And since it's complete now, I get to show it to you. So really excited about that. So this is a floor plan that if I've shown it to you before, it's been quite some time, and I don't think I've ever had the opportunity to show you a model home of it if I have. So this will be fun to get to take you around in here. Beautiful dining room. Really love the light fixtures that they have in here. And of course they've showcased here in the entryway too, because you have this little bump out here to make it a little bit wider. And man, that looks fantastic. That's one of the things I think you'll notice throughout this home is the decorations and furnishings are very nice. So that'll be fun to get to see today as we take a look around. So here is our living room area. Very nice. I love this light fixture that they have in here. Again, this is a newer community. So we're located in Galena, Ohio. So we're to the north of Columbus and then on the east side of north. I don't want to quite say northeast because we're still north of Columbus, but on the east side of north. So over near Sunbury. But you know, the amazing thing is you're still so convenient to the Polaris Mall and the surrounding area. So just around 15 minutes away. So that's where Costco is located. There's Target, there's Hobby Lobby, there's Dick's Sporting Goods, which is just rebranded as Dick's House of Sport. So they have some new features in there, just recently reopened. There's Cabella's, movie theater, Top Golf, IKEA. All of those things are so close. So it's really a convenient location still, even though you are really in a small town for exactly where you're at. So, but you're still close to Sunbury. So you're just a few minutes away from Sunbury if you are wanting to just go to the grocery store really quick or grab some fast food really quick. So there are still some options right there in Sunbury, just maybe 6-7 minutes away. And that was, I don't know if you have any kids watching or if you've heard that. I did not intend to say 6-7 there, but it truly is 6 or 7 minutes away. My kids might have caught me for that, but I truly didn't plan that. So anyway, really cool kitchen. Love the countertops in here. Those are gorgeous looking and fun. I don't think that I've seen this color of cabinets in a home, at least not in a kitchen anytime recently, and definitely not in this style of a home. You know, so like maybe in like these super luxury custom homes, you might, you know, sometimes see cabinets this color. So this is really cool. I like it a lot. Very nice, of course, having the extra space right there next to your fridge. And then you have your butler's pantry area right over here, which again, getting all the design inspiration in here, soak it all in. This is really nice. So I will say a little bit later in this video, go over the builder promotions that they have going on right now. So you can make sure you know about those so you can take advantage of that. If now is the right time for you to go into contract, because it doesn't even have to be a move-in ready home. So it's not that you need to close necessarily right away, although one of them will give you a little bit of a teaser. One of the promotions is for homes that can close by the end of December 2025. So if you're watching this later, sorry, those promotions have changed, but still feel free to contact me to figure out what they are right now at the time that you're watching. But then there's also a promotion that will, you can take advantage of for homes that are going to be closing for months to come still. So you could even build a home from dirt, but you'd need to do that pretty soon. So let me back up over here so we can see a little bit better here. We do have a flex room or office as they're having it set up right over here. I love the fact they did the glass in the French doors here. That looks so nice. So this becomes actually a showcase rather than just like, well, it's a flex room, right? Obviously you got a beautiful light fixture in here. Again, really cool furnishings, beautiful desk. All the cool stuff in here. I mean, they even got like things on, like here we got our bulletin boards, our pinup boards on the wall. Very cool. All right, and right over here, you have your main level powder room. What a beautiful light fixture. That is very nice and very cool mirror too. Again, kind of showcasing some of the upgrades. Like that's not the standard faucet that's included on the pedestal sink. You do have your boot bench here with all the nice hooks and storage options. And of course, this would be your garage entry right now, but it is the sales office, so not going to take you in there. I hope you're enjoying the home tour so far. I just want to say hi and thank you so much for watching. If we haven't met, my name is David DeLuey with Red One Realty, your Columbus, Ohio real estate agent. If you're thinking about buying or building a new construction home in the Columbus, Ohio suburbs, you've come to the right place. Every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, I show you Columbus, Ohio home tours of model homes and new construction homes for sale across the Columbus, Ohio suburbs, so you can see what living in Columbus, Ohio could look like for you. And by the way, if you want to make sure that you have representation from someone who has your best interest in mind, that's why I'm here. Because I focus so much of my time on new construction homes in the Columbus, Ohio area, this is an area of expertise for me that you just don't find elsewhere. Just make sure to reach out to me first before you go tour any model homes or talk with any builder reps, because with some builders, if I don't introduce you to them, they won't allow me to help you. Now, the great thing for you is that it doesn't cost you anything extra to work with me as your real estate agent, because the builders will compensate me and they don't give you a discount for not working with a real estate agent. I have people just like you reaching out to me all the time to help them with their move to Columbus, Ohio, and I absolutely love it. To contact me, you can send me a text, you can give me a call, you can send me an email, or my favorite is you can schedule a time for a video call by scanning the QR code on the screen with your smartphone camera, or you can also find a link for it in the description. And of course, if you need to sell a home or if you want to buy a home that isn't new, I am more than happy to help you with that as well. I look forward to hearing from you soon to help you with your move to Columbus, Ohio. So very nice basement, 9-foot high ceilings. Of course, you got really great wrought iron spindles here, beautiful railing, and really nice carpet here too. So kind of unique layout up here. You come up the stairs, you've got the window right here. Obviously it's nice because you get a ton of natural light. Then we turn around over here and you have absolutely massive loft. I mean, you can just see, obviously they have it set up kind of with a theme of a game room. This would be an incredible game room. They put a TV up on the wall, so whether it be for video games or for watching movies, just watching TV, having an extra little spot. If you don't want to have to finish your basement, then this could be an extra kind of more casual space for being able to, kind of have a TV area. But that is very nice. So over here on this side, we have a really nice bedroom. That is some sweet furnishings. I know there's like, how many pillows is that? 8 pillows on that bed? I don't know the maximum number of pillows allowed on a bed, but that still looks really good. So I'd say that's under the limit of the maximum allowable pillows. That's a really good looking bed. Love the lights on the walls. So many different things you can do in a home when you build it by adding different light fixtures, adding outlets to different places, you know, upgrading the flooring in bathrooms, upgrading things like your tile in showers, all sorts of different things like that that you can change in a home to make it how you want it to be. So, you know, if you wanted this to be a really nice ensuite bathroom for this bedroom, you can do that. If you didn't need your hall bathroom to be as nice, that's, you know, fine, and you can leave it like that as well. So that is a very nice first bedroom and bathroom upstairs. Now here is our next one. Again, a very big bedroom. So this is great so far. I'm sure a lot of you have thought, and I know I've noticed this sometimes as I go through homes, the secondary bedrooms and bedrooms in general can just kind of seem a little bit small. But these are some very spacious bedrooms so far in this home. So that's nice if you're looking for, you know, a home where you're not having the tiny little bedrooms. This could be a great option for you. So nice little sized closet. This is kind of interesting, something I don't typically see. You just have like a 7-foot high ceiling in here. So you don't have the 8-foot in that closet in particular, because you have an air return vent right there. All right, let's see what we've got over on this side of the home. And also kind of neat that all the bedrooms are separated, you know, so like this bedroom doesn't share a wall with any bedrooms. This bedroom over here that we just were in doesn't share any walls, at least with another bedroom. I think it'll be with the primary bathroom. This one, again, it's kind of open. And then of course we got the primary over there. So they're all, at least the doors are all separated from each other. So it's kind of a nice feature to have. That way you're not at least feeling like you're right next to other people's bedroom doors. So obviously this is our sports room. This one's a little bit smaller than the other ones, but I think this still is a queen size bed. So you still have a good amount of space in here around it. And again, a nice closet. This is a super cool mirror. How cool is that? I don't know if it twists and turns or not, but very nice. Cool. So this one's, like I said, a little bit smaller, but still a good amount of space considering you still have a queen size bed and some large end tables on either side of it. And then again, a beautiful bathroom. Very nice. Cool light fixtures. Awesome faucets. And you got like the upgraded countertops in here too. Of course, you have the actual tile in the shower rather than the fiberglass. And this is just very, very nice so far. There we go. All right, here's our laundry room. So they didn't upgrade the countertops in here. I mean, at least if it is, it's a small upgrade because it's still laminate countertops. But you do have nice light fixtures in here. You still have the tile flooring in here. I love the fact that you have the cabinet space and the sink. And it's not just the utility sink on its own that looks kind of ugly, right? You have like it actually hidden in the midst of the cabinets, which is nice. So a lot of space in here. That is excellent. I was just in a home recently and I saw the laundry room. I thought, nah, that's not big enough, but this is nice. This is a good size. All right, and here is finally our primary bedroom. You couldn't quite tell because I turned 2 last minute, but you do have the double door entry into here. So that is awesome. Look at that beautiful light fixture. All the bling on it. The light refracting in different directions. Of course, you have the tray ceiling as well. So this room is so big that you have the king size bed and you have these big chairs, and then you still have a ton of walking space around here. So this is a great sized primary bedroom. This is really awesome. This is the type of room that makes you think like, this is an owner's retreat. This is not just, you know, well, it's a bedroom where we can put a bed. This is a great size space. You can see here how big this opening is still, even with these, I mean, these are not small chairs at all. Yeah, they could have, they could have put something even bigger in here if they wanted to. And these are big end tables too. I mean, this is just awesome. Of course, you got the accent wall over here, which makes it look very nice. Again, so many cool decorations throughout this home. But we gotta check out the bathroom next. Can't wait. So again, this neighborhood is new. It is gonna have a pool. It's gonna have walking trails. It is very close to the, kind of like town center, to downtown Galena. There's not much there, but as far as like, there might be a cafe, restaurant. You do have a private water closet here. But anyway, so you're really close to that if you just wanted to go someplace that's super close. But then you have Sunbury that again is just 6 or 7 minutes away, really close. And then if you want all the options, the Polaris Mall and the surrounding area, it's like 15 minutes away from here. So extremely convenient if you need every option known to Columbus, Ohio. Now, technically, there's some places that aren't at the Polaris Mall. Some are at Easton. But I mean, you have an Apple store, like I already mentioned, IKEA, Topgolf, Cabella's. I'm trying to think what else is there that Fogo de Chao just opened up there. Lots of high-end restaurants are in that area. Tons of shopping options, furniture stores galore. I mean, there's just about everything there. It's really, really nice. All right, so finally we gotta check out this shower. All right, this is unique. Okay, so it's a walk-in shower, so you don't have an official door. That's on purpose because the shower head's way on the other side. But you can turn it on right here, so you don't have to get wet in order to turn it on. That's nice. You do have the glass there to help protect any spray that direction, although I'm not sure why you'd need it to protect that direction in particular, but I guess just in case. But you do have a bench over here, and I love the tile that they did in here. This looks really nice. Of course, you have the big shower head also. So this is a beautiful bathroom. I don't think I showed you the flooring yet in here. So oftentimes they'll do a tile, but in this case, they did like a plank flooring. So pretty neat. I guess it's more so to match kind of with the cabinets in here. Of course, you got the nice little rug as well, but this is a beautiful home. And so here is our move-in ready home for sale. This one's listed at $649,000. Now I'm gonna get into the builder incentives that they have available right now. Just so you have a context, I'm filming this at the beginning of November and I'm publishing it at the beginning of November. I'm filming it the same week as publishing it. So when I reference timelines on this, we're talking about in the fall/winter of 2025, if you happen to be watching this video later on. So here is your front entryway. Very nice side lights beside the front door. You can peek out and see who's there. So you have a nice double wide coat closet here at the front of the home. And then right over here, we have a really nice, I'll call it a flex space officially, because although they have it, kind of a chandelier, maybe, you might want to use it as a dining room, but someone else might want to use it as a study. And either way, it would be a great space. This is a really big room, lots of space. You have the 3 transom windows there. So you have the natural light coming in, but you still have some privacy. So if someone's walking by, because this is on the corner lot, that way you're not having people looking into your dining room or study if they just happen to be walking by outside of the home. So this door right here is to the basement. So we'll get to that in just a little bit. But first, let's check out your main living area. So very nice living room here. You do have 9-foot high ceilings in the main level of this home. So obviously you have your fireplace. And of course, this is a newer community, so that's why all around you, you're not seeing homes, you're seeing home sites. So you'd be one of the first people in this community. And I know that there's no guarantee over time because anything could happen in theory, but generally speaking, price-wise, buying a home near the beginning of a community being developed is going to get you the best pricing, because prices increase as they go along. And prices have increased a lot over the last 5 years here in the Columbus, Ohio area in particular. They've gone up over the last 10 plus years, but they've specifically gone up a ton in the last 5 years. So you have a nice morning room in addition to your eat-in kitchen space. As you can see right here, that's why they have the 2 separate light fixtures there. But if you wanted to make this a little breakfast nook area here, and then your morning room there, or obviously you could have it set up however you want. Maybe you just put the table back over in that direction. So over here is, of course, your kitchen. So you've got the white cabinets, the dark hardware, of course the dark faucet, very nice look. Obviously they still have a few little things, like they need to add the last little touch for your vent there, but you have the nice gas range. This tile backsplash is kind of cool. Like it looks like a stone type finish to it, which is very cool. And with this builder, you do get the fridge. So some builders, they do not include a fridge on their spec homes. This one you do, so that's nice, because depending on the fridge price, that might save you $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 that you have to come out of pocket for after closing. So that is very nice. You do have GE profile appliances. So you have a built-in oven. You also then have the microwave, which you can do convection bake on it as well. So that's nice. It's very cool. All right, over to this direction. I just realized as I was walking through, this reminds me of a floor plan with another builder. It's a very, very similar layout. So that's fun. So I actually have 2 clients with that other builder building their comparable floor plan to this. That's what kind of made me think of it. I was like, wait a second. This looks very familiar. So another nice flex space. So it doesn't have a closet, so most people don't think of it traditionally as a bedroom. In theory, you could call it a bedroom because it has enough space to add a closet, but this would also just be a great office. If you wanted to make that front room into a dining room, a formal dining room, then this could be a great office or a great guest bedroom, because there is plenty of space in there. That's actually a really, really big room, all things considered. So how they have this home, obviously done right now, they have this just as a powder room. If you're going to build this floor plan, I'm 99% sure that one of the options is to make this into a guest suite. So they'd reconfigure this just a little bit so that this is a full bathroom. And then obviously they would add a closet into the flex room to make it a true bedroom. But just so you're aware of that possibility, if that's something that you want as a main level guest suite, you could do that with building this particular floor plan. They just didn't do it in this spec home. So here would be your mudroom area. So a nice place where you could put a boot bench there. And you do have another coat closet over here, which I love so much when builders do this. They give you a coat closet for your family entry over here by the garage, in addition to having one by the front door. So speaking of the garage, here is your garage. And so it's kind of nice. Now they haven't completely finished it yet. I don't know if they're planning on adding the drywall or not, but they did at least insulate around on these exterior walls. So builders will always insulate and drywall where it's touching the inside of the home, but oftentimes they don't. Now sometimes they will. So, most of the time though, they don't even insulate these exterior walls. So this is nice that way in the wintertime, it will stay not quite as cold in your garage, just because you have that extra insulation. So that's really cool that they did that. And you do have a little bit extra ceiling height here. So if you wanted to hang things from the ceiling, you could. And of course you do have the 4-foot bump out over there on the side. So you have some extra storage. So that's really nice. And even a little bit of extra space back there too. So very cool to have some storage there in your garage. So we're gonna go check out the basement now. But as we do, I just wanted to talk about that promo like I mentioned. So right now, for homes that can close with this builder, for homes that can close by the end of December 2025, as of right now, like this, they could run out of this promotion potentially, so don't wait until the last second if you're interested in it. But they have basically the same promotion that they had been running. So you start at a 4.875% 30-year fixed interest rate. So less than 5% for your 30-year fixed. And by the way, these are 9-foot high ceilings here in the basement. So a really great ceiling height in here, especially if you want to finish it. Here's your rough-ins for your full bathroom down here. And it's nice that they're out of the way, not like in the middle of the basement. So that's really nice where they laid that out. Anyway, so the 4.875% 30-year fixed interest rate, but then they're still doing the 2-1 buy down. So that means in the first year, you're at 2.875%. Then the second year, you're at 3.875%. And then the 4.875% for the rest of the loan. And then they're also contributing $6,500 towards your closing costs. So really great deal. And if you've watched some of my recent videos, you might have heard me mention that with this builder, with other builders, they are all anticipating, as the history has shown, for there to be a lot of foot traffic coming in starting in January. So the reason why you might be wanting to start the process now and get in contract now and close before the end of the year is because when January hits and they have a way higher demand, there's less incentive for the builder to offer promotions to you. Does that make sense? If it doesn't make sense, please contact me. So really important to understand, with any builder or with any seller, supply and demand. So I was actually, right before I started filming this, I was on the phone with one of my clients who found me here on YouTube, who I'm selling their home right now. And we had actually been on the market for a few weeks. We'd had tons and tons of showings. And then all of a sudden we got 3 offers at once. So with 3 offers at once, there's more demand, right? So it means that, the first offer came in less than our asking price. But I said, hey, we're supposed to get this other offer in. So you might want to proactively submit a better offer if you want to really be considered. So they did. They came back at our list price. Then we got another offer, and they knew that we had another good offer, so they offered just above list price. And then we got a third offer, even higher than that one. So point being is that when there's more demand, the seller, which in this case is a builder, has less inclination, less need to offer incentives, just because they're fighting over it at this point. The buyers are fighting over it. So we're not needing to offer concessions because we can get higher than the list price. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, happy to answer any questions that you have about it, but I would highly recommend, if you are thinking about buying a new home and you're oh so close, you're thinking, yeah, let's just wait until January. I would recommend not waiting. If you have the ability to do so now, I would recommend doing so now, just so you, 1, have less competition, 2, so you can take advantage of these incentives that they are offering right now. Which again, these are incredible. That way you get a much lower interest rate the first 2 years, and then you're still at a 30-year fixed, less than 5% for the remainder of the loan, plus you're getting help towards your closing costs. That is a fantastic deal. So again, if you have any questions about it, let me know. Now, if you're thinking about a home that isn't going to be ready by the end of December, because perhaps the home you really want is going to be ready in January or February or whatever month. Now you can still lock in a really great promotion. So what they have right now, they just released these a couple days ago, is you can get that 4.875% still as a 30-year fixed. Sorry, I'm kind of running out of breath as I'm showing you things just because I'm talking so much as I'm walking around. So if it sounds like I'm out of breath, I am out of breath. These are actual tile floors here in the bathroom. And just in case you weren't noticing, really big loft with an extension over there. And actually, I believe one of the options for this home as well is you can add another bedroom and a full bathroom plus a closet in this space. So Again, if you needed more bedrooms and bathrooms, actually I know that because I've looked into it myself on this home and tweaked around with what you can do. So this could be a 5th upstairs bedroom plus a closet plus another full bathroom. And then obviously we had the hall bathroom here. Anyway, so if you're getting a home that's going to be completed from January through June of this coming year of 2026, you can still get that 4.875% for a 30-year fixed. And even technically, if you wanted to build a home, it doesn't have to be a spec home. So if you wanted to build, now you would just want to ensure that you could qualify for that promotion because it has to close by a certain time. You'd probably want to go in contract to build no later than Thanksgiving. So again, I know you'll be watching this hopefully in early November because that's when I'm filming it. But just in case you're watching it later, you might not have time to build a home from dirt at that point to get this promotion, but you could still qualify for any spec homes that have already been started that would just be ready in that time frame. Now, the nice thing too, because you still get closing cost help with that, and in addition to that, you also get $10,000 in flex cash. So you can use that to help buy down the rate or however it is that you want to use it. So again, to compare, the difference between the two is the ones that can close by the end of the year, they get the 2-1 buy down. For the ones that can't close by the end of the year, but that close from January to June, that's $10,000 in flex cash. Still 4.875% for your 30-year fixed. So this is a cool walk-in closet right here. I like this. Nice, a little bit extra space. You got the nice big window in here also. And I don't know why I love looking out onto the roofs when they look like this. Just really cool to me for some reason. I have a soft spot in my heart for roofs that look like this. It's really nice. So as you can see, this neighborhood is coming along. It's not like they don't have any homes here yet. It's the beginning stages still. So like right now, the home site next door is available. But they got these homes right across the street that they built. There is gonna be a community pool in this neighborhood. So if that's something that you're interested in, it's just a little bit down the street from where we are, but still pretty close by. So let's check out the primary now. So here it is. Really nice tray ceiling. Because I hadn't mentioned yet since we've been up here, it's 8-foot ceilings in the upstairs, but of course with the tray, you add the foot, so you have 9-foot high ceilings in there. And you do have a rough-in for a ceiling fan right there in the middle, but you do at least have the recessed lights. And another nice thing they did is they did add, it's kind of funny, this used to be where they would put like a cable, you know, like for cable TV. Now they put a Cat6, so for Ethernet, that way you can plug in your TV, that way it's connected to the internet. So if you're streaming Netflix or YouTube, if you're watching me on YouTube, you can have it plugged right in. Of course, that's what you guys only do on YouTube is you just watch my videos, but I'm joking, of course. But anyway, that's pretty fun that, you know, nowadays they just put the Cat6 cable there in the important places where they think you're gonna be putting a TV. So I love this tile for the flooring in here. One of my favorite tiles that I've seen. They got the gray cabinets here in your bathroom. You do have a private water closet right over here. It's nice as always. A little bit of an extra space here where your window is if you needed to put an extra seat or a little extra vanity or something like that. And here is your walk-in closet, pretty spacious. This, you know, what's so funny to me is occasionally I'll see homes that are much more expensive than this that are considered to be like a luxury home. And sometimes they'll have a smaller closet than this. Now, sometimes they'll have built-ins in it, so obviously your functional space becomes more useful. But it's funny to me when they get smaller closets than this. I'm like, didn't anyone consult with them about the size of closets that people typically want? Because I know if I saw a small closet, even if they utilized every square inch of it, I would probably thinking, this still looks small. I don't know if it's gonna work. Anyway, like the hardware in here, you do have that nice bench and the easier to clean basin at the bottom there, which is nice, but This is kind of fun. The tile here looks like the same type of theme as the floor. Now the floor tile is longer. It's more of a rectangle than a square, but very, very nice home. And here is the second model home that we're gonna tour today. So really beautiful exterior on this home. The stone here on the pillars looks fantastic. Looks great overall throughout, having that stone water table. Such a nice look. Of course, like a really kind of classic front porch here. Like the touch of modern, but not extremely modern. Really nice. So we do have the one side light here, which is awesome. And then right over here next to it, we have our coat closet. So you'll notice this home is smaller than the other model home. So obviously a little bit different of a layout and features in it, but still very nice. So we have a flex room right here at the front that they have turned into a study. It looks fantastic. Again, showing you some great options for how you might want to design your own study in your home. If you have a home office, maybe you work from home, maybe you don't work from home. Maybe you just want to have an office because you have a business and you work from home that way, or set it up as a room for your kids to do school, however you might utilize it. And then this is unique. Here we go. Very cool light fixtures and mirror in here. For a powder bathroom, this is super unique with that wallpaper. Now the toilet is behind the door, so I'm not gonna bother trying to get in to show you the toilet, but that way you're not always seeing the toilet even if the door is open, so that's kind of nice. So then let me turn around here so you can see the light fixtures. So you do have 9-foot high ceilings up in this section. Now, right where I'm standing right now, it happens to be lower, about 8 feet here under a bulkhead, but it is 9-foot high ceilings right over there. And we do have a smaller drop zone area. So this is our family entry into the garage right there. But so it is smaller in this one, but again, smaller home. That means you have smaller things going on in it. So here is our dining area. I'm trying to see if I can get, there we go. There's the lights for it. Really cool light fixture. I love it. That looks so nice. And I really am glad that they did this extra little bump out here. If you didn't have the bump out, this would obviously feel a little bit crammed in here. You know, you'd have to scoot the table that way to the left. You just wouldn't quite have enough space to have this big of a table. But as it is, nice big table, looks great, and a really awesome space. So speaking of cool light fixtures, I love the light fixtures that they have done in these model homes today. That is so cool. And also, obviously, you probably mentioned, or you probably noticed it as we walked in, this accent wall. So something as simple as just painting one wall a different color obviously gives that pop of color, especially, you know, combined with the lighter colored sofa. That just looks really fantastic. Nice artwork over here. Just nicely done, nicely decorated. That's why I love, you know, as much as, you know, you don't buy the model home unless, of course, it's for sale. But even though obviously I'm in the business of selling homes, I love bringing you the model homes and showing the model homes just because of getting to see what they did with the designs, because they don't always go all out when you're doing like an inventory home, a spec home, you know, where they're building it for you, for someone to buy. But so this gives you the opportunity to see not necessarily all of the things that they can do, but, you know, certainly they'll show a lot more. So again, another very unique and cool light fixture here in the kitchen. A little bit more of an industrial look to it, very nice. Of course, you got the nice white subway tile in the kitchen and some beautiful granite countertops as well. So here is our pantry. So this one's more just like, you know, a step-in pantry. You're not gonna walk around inside, but still plenty of space in there, which is nice. And I love personally just having the one door that opens rather than the sliding doors for a pantry. It's handy that way. You can see everything. You're not, you know, stuck looking at only half of your things at a time. Of course, you have a nice view from your sink looking out into your backyard. And you do have an island as well. Very nice. So let's head on over to the basement next. So people are always asking me what the real estate market is like. How's the market? How's pricing? Is the market crashing? Are prices coming down? All those questions. So that's one of the reasons why I like to mention in the videos, the actual market update stats of what's happening in the market. And, it's for this one, I think I'll just go ahead and share my general thoughts about it. So looking at the stats, as we've gone through this year, again, most people are anticipating that prices are going down. But keep in mind, real estate is extremely local. So what happens in one area of Columbus, Ohio doesn't necessarily happen in every area of Columbus, Ohio. What happens in Phoenix or in Miami or Atlanta or Seattle or San Francisco isn't happening necessarily in Columbus, Ohio, because those markets are extremely different. If you compared the condo market in Miami to the single family home, detached home market in Columbus, those markets are extremely different. Like there's nothing even remotely similar to them. So just because the market's crashing where you might live does not mean it's crashing here in Columbus. So I will say this though, the pricing has gone up overall. Now, again, there could be small pockets here or there where, okay, prices are coming down just a little bit, 1 or 2% maybe, something like that. But the biggest shift that I've noticed is simply homes staying on the market a little bit longer. Inventory is increasing. And so when I say inventory increasing, I mean the number of homes that are actively for sale. So we have way more inventory of homes for sale right now than we have had in the last few years. So that means as a buyer for you, that's great news because it means there's more options. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can get a home for a steal. Earlier this year, I had a client looking for a home that found me here on YouTube, and they were making an offer on a home. And after seeing the home, I did a video tour actually similar to this for them. After seeing it, they're like, we're probably gonna offer a little bit less than what we thought we would on it. And the listing agent, I remember this so vividly. He's like, we're not gonna give this home away. It's not a buyer's market. All these people think it's a buyer's market. And anyway, so they're just like flat out, no, we're not gonna take that offer. And so my client moved on and got a different home. But anyway, that home, because that was back in, let's call it April, it was in the spring. That home is still for sale. And you know what? They've actually lowered the price significantly less than what my buyer was willing to offer for it. So I mentioned that story to say, buyers are getting increasingly picky, in my opinion, about what they are willing to do and what they're willing to pay for. They're being more cautious. That's maybe another good word for it. It's a nice little pond view out this home. Obviously, it's a model home, so you can't buy it and move in right now, but this would be an awesome home to have with this bedroom, having 3 nice windows looking out onto that pond. Very nice. But anyway, so with inventory increasing, I will say that that's something I'm noticing is buyers being more cautious. So, that doesn't mean that you're going to get a home for a steal, but it does mean that you're not as likely to face multiple offers and at least face a situation where you have to go above list price to even have a chance. Now, all of that depends on pricing, because someone could price a home very low and it goes way above list price. Someone could price a home very high and it goes way down. So I have a listing right now in Galena, which is on kind of the east side of Columbus. And there's a home on the street right behind my listing. And that home was originally listed at $650,000. And the last I checked last week, it was listed at $530,000. Now, obviously it doesn't mean that the home has dropped in price and as in like value by over $100,000. It just means they overpriced the home. They might've been thinking, hey, we could sell our home for all this money because of, A, B, and C factors, right? Well, that home needed so many updates. It needs a ton of updates. So they were really doing a pie in the sky price to begin with. So their pricing was just way off, right? But on top of that, they need all the updates, which, if someone's going to move into a home, they're going to have to think, well, I'm either okay with all of these very, very outdated features, or I'm going to put a ton of money into the home to make it how I want it. So when you start talking about that, most people would think, I'd rather just spend more money and buy the home that's move-in ready, rather than buying a home that I have to put $100,000 of work into. Or maybe they just say, you know what, I might as well just buy a brand new home rather than buying a home where I might have to go replace the roof soon, or the furnace or the air conditioning, all those things. So that's some of the factors that's contributing to what's going on right now, is people are just thinking, well, if I have to pay $650,000 for a home that's in that type of condition, why don't I just buy that brand new home for $650,000? Some of it might not be high-end upgrades in it, but at least I don't have to worry about the roof. I don't have to worry about updating the entire home. Now, maybe you don't get in the exact location where you want it to be, or the exact school district or whatever, but you can get a very, very nice home with incredible interest rate incentives and those promotions that I've mentioned. And so it starts becoming a lot more enticing to go with a newer home, or to just go with a move-in ready home. So if you are thinking you want a home that is outdated because you want to just be able to update it and put in some sweat equity, this could be a good opportunity for you. Or obviously, if you just in general like the idea of buying a home right now, again, it's a good opportunity, especially in the wintertime, because come spring, a lot more buyers enter the market. I mean, technically, come January, a lot of buyers enter the market. So if you like the idea of not having as much competition, this time frame around the holidays can be a really good time frame to be getting a home in contract, because there's not as much competition from other buyers. And of course, as inventory increases, even if prices haven't come down, which again, depending on the area, it's tough to say too, because if you're talking about home A versus home B, really all you need is one buyer, right? You need one buyer to buy a home. And market value is whatever a willing seller and a willing buyer are willing to pay for a home, sell a home for, where it's not some crazy conditions where they're under distress. And so it's not that the market values necessarily come down, even if you're able to get a home for less money than what it's listed at. Or it's not necessarily that the market value went up, or that you're overpaying if you have to pay for higher than the list price. Because that could mean, well, more than one person was willing to pay the asking price on that particular home. And so the man in the mirror right there, I'm right here. This is actually me coming around filming these home tours for you. So obviously here is our ensuite bathroom for the primary bedroom. But anyway, I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions about kind of what the market's doing, I'd be happy to chat with you about it. As always, you can reach out to me, put the contact information on the screen. A great way, again, if you want to text or email to set up a time. But the easiest way is if you just do the link or scan the QR code with your smartphone camera, you can actually schedule time in my calendar right from there. But if for some reason you don't see a time on there that works for you, again, you can text or email and we can set up a time to chat. That way, I'm available, that you're available, and we can talk from there about any questions you might have about how the market's going, or strategies or timing, or which neighborhoods, which school districts, which suburbs, any of those details. Happy to help in any way that I can. So one thing that I don't like as much about this one in particular, just having the open toilet. It's nice at least that it's a little bit hidden, but obviously I'd love it if they had made this floor plan so it's completely closed in, where you don't have to see the toilet out in the bathroom. But obviously, at some point homes are smaller and you can't do that. If you have so many other bedrooms, you don't always have space for the extra things. But obviously you could just only have one person in the bathroom at a time. You don't have to have multiple people if you don't want, or if you want that privacy. So here is the shower, and this shower looks like it. I'm gonna see, okay, it doesn't quite feel like it. It looked almost like it was a linen type texture. It does look like it, but I wasn't sure if you would actually feel it as well, which you can't. It doesn't seem like you can really feel it, but it still has that very cool linen look to it. So very nice home. Obviously on this one, you do have the bench there as well. If you like this video, make sure to check out this video right here, or you can see the video that YouTube thinks you're like right over here. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next week.